So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, we have something special and different for you today. I have a live consultation that I'm going to be holding with a friend and colleague of mine. And I'm going to be taking him through some administration of Google Workspace right here. Oh, let me put my hands in the right direction. Right here live on the channel. So if you want to see us live build out some shared drives, which is what we're going to be focusing on today, and anything else that happens to come up on the call, well, stick around and you can see how things progress. Now, if you are watching the live, please make sure you say hello live. I can see the comments come through. We can see, of course, that there's people watching. And if this is inspiring for something that you want to do with your business, if you've got a question about the setup, if you want me to kind of show or repeat something that's interesting, well, we can, of course, do that. So I'm going to open up to my guest here. We've got Milan.
Hello.
And welcome, Milan. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Okay, well, it looks like the audio is coming through well. I'm just going to turn the volume down a little bit so it doesn't peak. And your business is PlayStack. You're actually in the YouTube industry, which is pretty cool. And help, obviously, we're doing a little bit of business together, which is great. We work with you and the team. But you help other founders and you help other people who are already on YouTube. Tell me a bit about what's a typical customer for you and who are the kind of people that you help.
Yeah, so our main goal is to help businesses grow on YouTube and use that as either like an authority builder, lead generator, or anything basically. We work with a lot of personal brands. We work with like SaaS tools. We help with you guys, for example, like just on a consulting basis, just to like optimize, come up with ideas, ways to look at content and stuff like that. So yeah, ideal is people that want to use YouTube as a marketing tool, basically.
Awesome, rock and roll. Well, thank you and welcome. So tell me about the agenda today. What are we working on? And we've already got people joining us live. We've got Paul from San Diego, which is awesome. So we've got all continents covered. Milan's in Vietnam, and I'm in Spain at the moment. So
Yeah.
we've got all time zones covered. But what's the agenda today? What are we going to cover?
So the agenda is to get shared Google Drives in the sense that like we work with a lot of footage, right? And part of what we do is like we send a script to the client films it, and then send us the footage. But I want them to upload it to our Google Drive without having them to like use their own Google space.
Yep.
And apparently I thought that was just how it is, that they use their own Google space, but somebody told me it's not the case. And so today I want to figure out, like, because we are on Google Workspace and we have like about 8 terabytes available, I believe. And so I just want them to be able to upload to Google Drive and then like make it easy for them, basically.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So the key issue that we're dealing with here is most people just share folders from My Drive. The problem with sharing a folder from My Drive is you might own the folder, but you don't own the files necessarily. If someone else puts files in there, they own the files. And in some ways, that's kind of okay. Like if you've got an external client and it's their files that they're putting in, that's okay. But if you've got any chance that client might accidentally run out of space themselves, or they might delete something. If you want to control the process and make sure that you've always got a copy, it's probably a better idea that you are the owner of the file. And of course, like if often what happens in creative businesses is a client will call you like 2 years later and they're like, hey, that thing you did for us, can you resend us a copy, or can you, can you make a different cut of this video that we did or this project? And if you go into, your My Drive and the files disappeared, then in Australia we say you're up shit creek. So we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that with shared drives. Shared drives means that the company owns a shared drive, and when someone puts a file into the shared drive, then the company owns the file, and that fixes that. So. All right, rock and roll. Well, we're going to do that now. So I'm going to hit share screen. You can check out what Milan and his team do at playstack.co. I've got that in the description of the video. And let's go ahead and get started. So what we prepared earlier, the only thing we've done is Milan created an admin for me, so I can access the admin panel, and then also and I've signed in as an admin. But apart from that, we're starting from absolute scratch. So maybe tell me a little bit about how your drives are structured at the moment, and maybe you can even share your screen. Maybe let's show us what you've got right now, and then we'll work through what we're going to do to improve things.
Yep, let me find it now. So we actually originally started use OneDrive. So I'm gonna share.
Cool.
The problem is it's super cheap, which is not a problem. But the problem is that it uploads and downloads very slowly.
Yeah.
And like we're talking about like a megabyte per second, which is really annoying if you have like 10, 20 gigabytes worth of footage.
Yeah.
To go. So we also use it as a backup folder. So finished videos go here, and then we have our progress videos here, which is then according to the client itself.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, let me see here. So we also have all their assets, like their guidelines and stuff. So everything goes in here. So the scripts, the raw footage. And so they need to upload their guidelines and whatever assets we need, their thumbnail pictures for us to be able to create. But then this is probably the folder we use the most, where they upload all the footage that's needed accordingly each time. And so that's per client that way. We deliver through frame.io, so we don't deliver within Google Drive, but they will end up on Google Drive eventually.
Yeah. Cool. So,
and as you can see,
so what I'm seeing here is you want to probably have like one simple Dropbox that the clients can just put raw footage in, so they don't have to think; they just put it in one place. Your team would probably be responsible for then, like organizing the work in progress.
That's done differently. That's in frame.io and then shared on Slack. But they would need access to this whole folder because they might add like new thumbnail pictures or new design assets or whatever that is.
Cool. Okay, so you effective, and this would be the same if someone was like an accounting firm or whatever. You would have like one project one folder per client usually, or like one folder per project. If you're construction company, you're building houses or building buildings. And these typically will map to one shared drive per client or one shared drive per project as well. Okay, cool. Yep. So that makes sense. So we need a Dropbox for customers to drop stuff into. The structure of things we can potentially have a bit of a look at. I've got some ideas for you there. Before we get into it, I'd like to know, did you finish the migration from OneDrive? Did you finish bringing over all the data?
I think we're co-using it right now. So old stuff is still on there, but actively we're using mainly this, and then probably use OneDrive as a backup currently, rather than, although for maybe one or two clients we're still using OneDrive. But if you have an easy way to migrate that stuff over instead of downloading and uploading, that would be also life-changing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, we definitely have that. And that's actually included. We could probably include that in your concierge. If you were a new customer, we would charge you to do like a migration. But since you're already a concierge customer, what we'll do is a cloud-to-cloud migration. There's a couple of ways of doing that. Yeah, and for those listening at home as well, if you want, you can just get like a cloud server with Amazon or Google, Google Cloud or something like that, and then you sign in online and you just move the files, right? Rather than having to do it from your home internet connection, it's typically slightly faster to do it from a data center because internet service providers will slow you down, or your computer's slow, or your computer's not on all the time, yada yada. The other option is our team do have some automated tools which will do it in the background using the APIs, and that's usually faster as well. Sometimes it's still slow. There are still limits, but that works a lot better. One thing that you did mention, and this is a good point to make, is that Google Drive is much faster than OneDrive. I didn't realize there was a limit on 1 megabyte per second. But if that's the case, that would only be 8 megabit per second. I mean, I'm surprised it's that low. I mean, I would expect it should perform better. But what I do at least know is that Google Drive is super zippy. I've been able to upload and download it like 600 megabit, nearly a gigabit per second, and you're only really limited by there's a 24-hour like rolling threshold, which is I think 500 gig, which I only hit if I'm doing like big movie downloads or uploads. I don't mean private movies. I'm not working on movies, like private movies. But that's the only time that I'll typically hit that threshold. So it should perform pretty brilliantly. I'm assuming you've got gigabit or really decent fiber being in Ho Chi Minh City.
I got around 300-400 a
Yeah,
second.
great, perfect, cool. See, so you should be able to slam Google Drive as much as you want, and that should be fine. All right, I'm going to turn my heater back on here. It's freezing cold today. Okay.
It's pretty like sweating hot here.
Okay. So where are we going to start? Let's start setting. I'm going to direct you, and then I'm going to jump in as needed, because I find it better to teach by showing you and directing you, because then you'll have an embodied experience of doing it again yourself. So let's go into your shared drives.
Empty.
Wow. Okay. Great. Awesome. All right. Cool. So all right. And I assume you haven't set up any security groups either. You haven't watched any of our videos on shared drives?
No.
No. Okay. Great. Cool. All right. So we're going to start with your team drives. We'll start with your company drives, and then we'll come back and we'll do the client files. So the first thing is let's go to the admin panel, and let's set up a couple of groups. So
this one?
admin.google.com. That's the one. Yep.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Cool. And let's so we go to directory and then groups, and we'll set up a couple of groups. Now, how big's your team? It's you and 4 or 5 people?
Officially there's only 3 users, but unofficially there's a lot of people using this one.
All right, that's cool. So what we'll do is you probably just got then like business owners or executive, and then like rest of the team, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, cool. And would you want to distinguish between rest of the team and contractors, or are they just one?
Contractors use their personal emails. So
okay, cool. All right. Okay,
they don't have access to this one for sure.
Okay, cool. We may still set up a separate group for contractors, because that will become useful. Okay, so let's create a group, and we'll call it like executive. So it should be in the middle. Create group.
Create group.
Yeah, great. So call that executive.
And what do we call it?
Exec or owners, or this is for you and Mike.
Yeah. How do I call them usually? Management.
Management. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the email doesn't really matter, because we're not going to expose this to the world, but it helps just to make it easy if it's the same name. So if you just call that management. Great. Okay, cool. And scroll down. Yep. And then click the security box, and then next. Great. Okay. So what I usually do here is I click onto restricted, and that just changes and hides most of the settings. But I like to remove, see who can contact group owners. I like to remove external, so there's no ability for anyone. So if you tick on, see the box under external on that row, there we go. Yeah, great. And then I typically click yes on who can view members' entire organization.
Who can view this
cool.
one?
Okay. So what that means is, if you use this group for like because you can use this in many places across Workspace. You can use it for Google Drive. You can use it for a calendar invite. You can use it for a chat room. But it helps if you've invited this group to a meeting, for example. It helps if everyone can see who's in the group and who's been invited. If you don't tick that box, then other people can't see, right? Cool. So that's my kind of like standard setup for an internal security group. I click restricted. I remove the external access, and then I add and now we're going to do this 3 times, so you'll get used to it.
Turn custom though.
It turns it into custom. Yeah. So restricted is like the starter template, and then we tick those 2 boxes. Okay. And I usually tick only invited users. So who can join the group? Only invited users down the bottom, and allow people outside your organization. We're going to leave that off, but we are going to use that for the contractors group. So create that group. Now, a weird thing happens. You create the group. Now add members. So add yourself. Oh, settings weren't saved because an error occurred. I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before.
My luck.
Is that because we didn't set you? Maybe because we didn't set you as an owner.
Do you have to go back to users?
Maybe just try it one more time. Yeah. No. Just try clicking on click on the settings again. Yeah. So just click exactly where you are. Yeah. Just click right in the middle. Yep. And that should open up the settings. Just click there. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So that's click who can view members. Tick that box. Yeah. All right. Okay. Scroll down.
Save.
Yeah. Save. Maybe it's because we didn't set you up as an owner. Maybe because it's empty. Okay, that appeared to work. That could have been a bug. I've never seen that. Okay, so add members on the left-hand side. Add members and add yourself and Mike. Yeah, great. And anyone else who's like management, but usually it's business owners, right? A small business.
Yeah.
Okay, add to group. Cool. Okay. So now anywhere in the Google ecosystem, or pretty much anywhere in the Google ecosystem, you can invite management at playstack.co to a meeting, and you get both of you guys in there, or a meeting or a drive or whatever. Cool. All right. So let's go to our Google Drive now, and we'll create our shared drive. We'll come back and do the rest of the groups in a second. Create a shared drive. Cool. Call it management. Create. And then we are going to manage members up the top right-hand corner. Cool. And you're going to add, you're going to add management. You're going to add the group.
Like this?
Yep, that's the one. Perfect. Yep. And then you're going to make the permission manager. Yeah, which is the top level permission. Send. Great. And then what I usually do is I actually go back and I remove myself. But you're using team at Playstack at the moment. This is the admin, is it?
Yeah, this is like the more people use this one. This is our general one, let's say.
Okay. That's definitely a concern because this one appears to be the super administrator.
Could be.
Okay. Well, if this one works in the admin panel, then this one's the super admin. Okay, so I won't slap your wrist too hard on this one, but we will. Hold on, let me write that down. Admin.
I use the ignorance of most people on Google Drive in our advantage.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So it's not ideal. You can have accounts that multiple people share, but ideally with the correct permissions set up, you shouldn't need to. But number two, we definitely don't want people to be using the shared account if it's got admin access. So that we'll loop back to that. I've got that on my list of things to.
So I can change that to my own one and then leave this as a.
Correct. Yeah, we would make you and I mean it would be best practice to have a separate account just for admin that you only sign into when you need to do admin stuff. But if you're like 5 people, that's fine. It's okay. It's okay. When you get a bit more sophisticated and you're more comfortable with the ecosystem, then we'll increase the security a bit more. Okay. So what I would normally do now, if you click on manage members again, you should see all the members that are in the share drive, right? Now, what I would normally do is I would actually remove my account personally.
This one?
Yeah, correct. But for now, this one is actually the admin. You're not signed in as Milan. You're actually signed in as Playstack. So for now, we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it there, and then we'll come back and we can fix that later. But tomorrow or whenever when we're finished with this session, you could theoretically go back here and remove the individual member, and then only those who are members of the management group would have access to this shared drive.
Got it.
Cool. Making sense so far?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, let's go back to the admin panel. Let's create the other groups. So we'll create a group for the team. So yeah, back to groups. Cool. And I would call that like Playstack team. So this is like everyone. Yep. And I would usually do team at is usually the easiest there. Great. Cool. And then you do the same. So you do security. That's fine. Yeah. Great. And then now I reckon maybe put in Milan as an owner. I think that's why we got a error before, because we didn't specify an owner. So yeah, chuck you in as owner. Great. Yep, and then restricted, remove external. Yep, great. And then go down to only invited users, and then create group. And then there used to be a button where you could. That is bizarre. Okay, I guess go back and just double do those settings again. That is very strange. Never seen that before.
I promise you, we pay our bills.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So add members, and then you're just going to chuck in. You're going to chuck in everyone. Yeah, everyone in the company. There used to be a button where you could automatically and programmatically have everyone added to this group. So like anytime you had a new user, okay, they're already a member.
I'm the owner already, so.
Yeah, you're the owner, so you're automatically a member. If you click where it says PlayStack team, top left, go back to the group itself. No. Up a little bit further. That's the one. Yeah, cool. Now it does take a second before it works it out. But yeah, if you click onto the members area there, where you were in the middle, yeah, it should show you all the members. Nice. Okay, great. So you've got all the members there. You used to be able to add everyone programmatically, but I don't know where that button is anymore. So every time you onboard a new staff member, you're gonna have to go and add them to this group manually.
Okay.
Now, so that's got every internal user that might need things.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Cool. Let's do one more group. So if you go back to groups, create group, and call it contractors.
Is that right?
Yep.
It's not my first language.
I didn't know that. What's your first language?
I'm Belgian.
Cool.
Flemish.
All right, cool.
I lived in Australia, but never, not from there.
Put yourself in there. All right, restricted. Yep, nice. Oh, now you're moving too fast. Look at that one.
Now it works.
Okay, that's good. So that's the one. Maybe click see group details, because we're gonna go back to the settings. Thankfully, you can change this after you've created it. You can go back and change it. Access settings. So click on access settings down the bottom. Allow members outside your organization. We want to click yes. No. Down. That's the one. Yep. So for the contractors group, go save.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Now, just as a test, we'll pretend that I'm a contractor. So let's add, if you go to add members, add Peter at itgenius.com. And so I'll be your first contractor. Now, this works for Gmail accounts too. So this is where you will add other additional people as well.
This one?
Yep, that's the one. Yep. Amazing. Okay, cool. Let's go back to Google Drive. All right, so if you go back to your shared drives, create a shared drive, and you can call it like PlayStack Team or Team Drive.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Great. And then, of course, you're going to share the, share that to the team. So PlayStack Team. Yeah. Oh, hold on, what's your spelling?
Wow.
Now we're going to give different permissions for different people here. So see there, so see you've got different options here. I would typically, it depends how big your team is, and it depends how strong you want to be with managing other people. Like basically, if you think your team are going to bugger up and delete stuff accidentally, you would restrict them to just the contributor role, which means they can put stuff in, but they can't move it around, they can't delete it. Typically, we would keep the ability to delete stuff just to managers. So not necessarily business owners, but just to managers. So if you want, you could then go contributor role here. It just saves one of two situations. One situation.
Well, currently it's only the managers that are using this. So
okay, great. Okay, cool. Content manager is appropriate then. Yeah. So the two and hit send, because we're going to have to do the executive one separately. The two situations where you might lose data if someone's got the ability to delete something is, number one, someone is trying to rip you off and it's malicious damage. Pretty rare, but does happen. But number two is, what's more likely is someone's just cleaning up their Google Drive and they're like, oh, I don't need this anymore, and they hit delete and nobody notices. And then 30 days later, it's gone from the trash and then it's gone. So that's why, if you want to invest in a backup for Google Workspace, that's a good idea. We do recommend that. Our team can help you out with pricing on that. It's pretty reasonable. That saves you from that accidental deletion. But if you want to go back to
that's why we have that separate folder. So we have a backup and we have the ongoing stuff.
Yeah, but it's not a backup if someone has the ability to delete it. It's got to be in at least two different places to actually be a true backup. Okay, so go back to the team manage members, and now we're going to add the management to this one. And of course, we're going to give management the owner permission on this one as well. Great. Oh, manager permission, sorry. Yay, awesome, cool, okay. So there your, now third one, contractors. Another shared drive, we'll set up the contractor shared drive. Great. Add contractors in there. Now, contractors, definitely, you would never put them above the contributor access role. Yep. You may even choose to make them read-only if you wanted to put, read-only, but yeah, and put management in as well. Yeah, nice. Oh, and then you probably want to put team on that one. Probably want to put team on that one too. Yeah, you're getting it. Great. Now, for those playing at home, if you're interested in dropping a question, if you're not following anything, go ahead and drop it down in the chat. If you're enjoying this, give us a thumbs up. Let us know. I don't know if the audio is weird or anything. This is the first time we've run one of these, so just go ahead and send us any feedback if you're not hearing things great. We've got plenty of people watching, which is great. Well, by plenty, I mean 5, which is great for us. Okay.
Which one is not me?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like our lives get our lives really get distributed, because sometimes we'll run a live and then like 3,000 people will watch it. Like 3 people will watch live, and then thousands will watch it after the fact. So hopefully it must be useful. It must be useful.
As a YouTube insider, the longer you run it, there's like a 50 minutes I find is like the peak of most live streams.
Oh wow, interesting. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's good to know. Well, I think we've got an hour. We can squeeze an hour out of this. So there we go. Okay, cool. So contractors. And
now we need one for clients, no?
Well, we need one for each client, actually. So if you wanted to, now if each client of yours had multiple staff that you were working with, you may choose to create a group for each client, put all the staff in the group, put the group to the shared drive, right? Because that's the best way to control, be really careful about controlling access. Because what tends to happen with access is you allow access for one person, and then someone else asks and you add them, and someone else asks if you add them, but no one ever goes back and like checks the people who've been given access in the past. But I assume most of your clients are probably solo people?
No, it's larger organizations often.
Okay. Well, you've got multiple options. You can set up a group, and you know how to set up groups. So I'll leave that choice for you to do later if you want. For now, let's add them to the shared drives directly. But we might set up like a dummy client, and imagine I'm the client, because I don't want to share your customers' email addresses publicly and that kind of thing. Our team are going to have to go back and blur a couple of things already. But let's go to shared drives, and let's create a new shared drive for your customer. And if you choose, you may want to change the view on this so you can see them a little bit easier. Yeah, if you cancel, oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you know what I mean. Cool. All right, it's a bit hard to see. All right, cool. So Peter itGenius. So manage members. So you can add me directly, or you can add a group. Thinking about it now, I'm not exactly sure what the advantage would be of groups over this, apart from keeping it tidy, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, you can just make me contributor. That'll do for now. Yep, and then send that one off. Cool. So probably doesn't hurt to show you what your customer experience is going to look like. So I won't share my screen. Let me share my screen into here. Where's my?
Yeah, don't pop too many bubbles in our float. No.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Where's my? Have I got the right? Have I got the right screen? Oh, geez. All right. I don't want to turn this into too much of a mess. Okay, cool. So if I open up my Gmail, I'm going to see an invitation. I should see an email come through. What? Where's the email? Okay.
Spam.
Or yeah, maybe went to spam. No, I can't see it.
Okay.
Well, it should show up, but where it will also show up is in Google Drive, in my shared drives. Now it'll show up automatically. There we go. It automatically shows up, which is a bit odd that Google do that automatically.
Yeah.
Because
and you get contractors, the contractor one. That's odd. No.
Oh yeah, because you made me a contractor. Remember, you added me to the contractors group.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can see the contractors because we added me as an example for the contractors group. Now, what was this one called? This was called like itGenius Peter, right? Here we go.
Peter
itGenius. Oh no,
yeah.
that's a different customer. Oh, here we go. Peter IT. Okay, it's right down the bottom. All right, Peter itGenius. So okay, so it's been added here. Now, importantly, it says files owned by PlayStack. So it's really obvious. It's really obvious here. Files are owned by PlayStack. The contractors one sits there, and down here, Peter itGenius sits here. So I've got the shared drive here available to me, which is great. And then obviously, if I want to start putting files in here, I can.
Yeah.
So I'll show that as an example real quick. Let's grab something from my pictures. All right, drop in a picture. Okay, so I'm uploading a picture here. Ta-da!
Yeah.
And there we go. It's put an image in. Now, if I want to grab something from my drive, and I decide I'm going to move, I don't know, some random file. Here we go. Employment contract. If I want to move that into PlayStack, it's going to pop up and say, "Do you want to change the ownership to the shared drive?" And that's important because I will no longer be the owner of that file. The customer will be the owner. Sorry, your shared drive will be the owner of the file. Your company will be.
But you still have like a copy in your own drive, right?
No.
Or is it moved?
No, it moves it. It's not a copy.
Okay.
It moves it. Yeah, which is what we want. This is what we want. Because we want the shared drive to be the source of truth. If I still had a copy in my drive and I go and change that file again, then the shared drive doesn't get the file, the copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what if they also want like their raw footage for themselves?
They can keep a copy. That's up to them. Yeah, that's
Okay.
up. That's up. So what that would look like, right? What that would look like is there's multiple ways to upload. They can drag and drop from their Mac, from their computer, straight in if they want, right? They can take a video file. Let's get one of my video files here, right? They can grab a file and they can drag and drop into the drive if they want, and it'll upload it there. Now that leaves the file in my local computer.
Yeah.
So it's still got to copy the local file in my computer. The other option is that I synchronize it like with Google Drive on my local computer. So like in my local computer, I've got Google Drive in the file browser. And so if I drag and drop it into Google Drive on my local computer, that's technically going to move it on my local computer. So they just have to be mindful. If they want to keep a copy, then they just move a copy into the shared drive. Or if they're uploading via the web, then it's only ever going to be a copy, fundamentally as well. But if I look at these individual files here, you'll see it shows me who it's shared with, but the owner, I don't think it actually says owner, but it just says location.
It's modified by you, yeah.
It's Peter itGenius, yeah. So it says who's modified it, that kind of thing. But that this is the owner, and if I'm a contractor, I now no longer have the option to delete it. So I can't delete it. I don't think I can even move it, actually. Can I move that into... No, I can't even move that into raw
Oh,
footage.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's great. This is what you want, because you want customers to be able to upload stuff, but not move it, delete it, or do anything else.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you also use shared drives, for example, for Google Meets recordings, that it goes straight into the right drive so that only a limited amount of people have access to that? Or if in this case, that is like a standard folder?
Yeah, look, you'd have to do that with something like Zapier to build that automation. You can't dictate where does my automatic Meet recording go. The Meet recording automatically goes into the My Drive of the organizer, which is a bit weird because sometimes like my PA will organize a meeting for me, and then it like goes in her drive instead. But yeah, you can either, after a meeting, drag and drop a recording, which is a bit of a pain to do it manually. Or if you really wanted to set up an automation to do that, that would be easy. You could say, right, any meetings that go into my Drive that have X domain name in them, in the title, automatically copy that into this shared drive for this customer. That would be very easy to do. And then you just need to make sure that every time you set a meeting, you have, the correct domain name in there. So that's totally doable. Or which is what we do. It's someone's job to organize stuff like that and keep client stuff up to date. But remember, anytime you have a meeting with someone, the recording automatically gets attached to the meeting after the meeting. So I don't know why I didn't do that this morning, because I recorded it, but it should. I think because I changed that calendar. Here we go. So I had a meeting with Roland here. After the meeting, it automatically gets attached to the calendar event. And so with one click, I can go and view it. And so anyone who had access to the meeting will automatically. Even if you change that file location? Yes, even if you change the location of the file, because the name of the file is still correct. So you can move the file, and the permissions are dictated by, getting a bit technical here, the permissions are dictated by the location of that file. So I can click on the file from the calendar. I can go to organize here. But you might not have access if it's a limit, like a locked or shared drive. Well, if I was correct, it depends on the organizer. So in this case, I was the organizer. I've got the ability to move this file. If I wasn't the organizer and I didn't have the ability to move the file, that would be different. But I know we're getting like a little bit down the rabbit hole here. You can set up a team calendar. Yeah. And I think the original file still goes to the person's Google Drive, but you may be able to move it. Will that help? No, it might not. we might have to test. We have to test that. It's fine. Yeah, but yeah, if you want to go deep on that, maybe we'll save that for the next episode. But yeah, but that's an option. That's an option. Is fiddling around with that. Okay, so I think let's go back to your stuff here. Let me find. But I mean, this is already. Where are you? Great. So I think we can improve your folder structure a little bit. If we go into your, stop presenting here, open up your one again. Okay. Oh, could you click down the bottom? That's weird. I wanted to put your, could you click down the bottom to resume presenting? If you click the presenting button down the bottom, you should be able to click resume presenting, and then it should highlight that. There we go. Thank you. Okay, great. There we go.
Cool.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so you've got the individual setups now per client. So if you open up the client folder, I've got some suggestions around that. So you said that you're managing revisions with
frame.io.
Frame.io. Okay, so when you are publishing assets or you have assets ready to be published, where do you put those?
So they are on frame.io. We downloaded from there because of whoever editor put it there. We downloaded and we uploaded to YouTube. Once it's on YouTube, then we put it into our backup folder.
Okay, cool. My recommendation would be that you have the backup folder in here.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So that's another, like,
That would be another folder. Yeah.
Backup. And then can you limit that specific folder? Oh, it's not needed.
Well, they can't edit. Yeah, your customers can't edit. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to make that even more secure for your team, you might make one completely separate backup shared drive just for your team. So you might call it like content archive, and every single published or completed video would go into content archive. That would be a separate shared drive, and then you would give your team only the ability to contribute, but not to delete that.
Yeah, I mean, I think backup would be within the client. It's better organized that way anyway, I think.
It is better organized here. The other thing is, like, the customer, let's say, for example, the client, if they decided, you know what, I want to re-upload this video with different title and thumbnail, they've got an easy place that they can go to, which is their one client folder, and they've got all the stuff. They've got all the stuff there, right? And they can go get the raw again whenever they need to. And the customer uploading or downloading these doesn't count towards your quota on uploads or downloads or daily limits or anything like that. So they can go nuts. If they want to download the whole thing in one go, that's up to them. If they want to zip it and do like a Google takeout type thing, they can easily do that. Cool. Okay. So I would probably create one folder here and call it Dropbox, unless you want customers to just drop stuff in the root folder like what I've done there. It might be easier if it's in the root folder because then your team see it immediately. So maybe that's
yeah, and then if something is here, that means it's unprocessed.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
And then the team would move it. So maybe you would have like a processing folder that your team could move. Oh no, they would move it into RAW, wouldn't they? They'd move it into RAW once they start processing.
Well, ideally they put the footage into RAW footage, and then also with the onboarding, they'll add it themselves to the thumbnail and the brand assets.
Okay.
So it probably is best that they just upload it straight to RAW footage. But then within RAW footage, we have like a done folder as well. So I know which we already have, if we're still working on it, then it's here. And if it's already edited, it goes into done.
Yep.
Cool. But then on the other hand, like, I don't know if I want to keep the RAW footage over time because that will rack up.
It will eventually, yeah. Especially like with 4K. So kind of monitor that and see how that goes. It's pretty affordable to just like purchase an extra user when you need another 2 terabytes of storage. That's a pretty easy way of getting it. It's $20 a month, so that's an easy way of getting more storage. The other thing I'm not sure if this is a consideration or not, but what we do is for each project or video that we publish, we've got one folder just for that video. So I'll show you what ours. That could
go in backup. I was thinking.
Yeah, well, you might. I don't know if you'll end up with more folders or less folders doing it this way. But let me show you either way, just in case it's of interest to you. So in my drive, I'll open up itGenius. Cool. So we've got, and this is just a subfolder of where is it? I didn't move my other ones yet. Okay. I created my 2025 folder, but I haven't moved everything yet. Okay, cool. So so each video will sit in its own folder.
Yeah.
And then within that folder, we'll have thumbs. There's the raw footage, the raw audio, stuff like that. My team happened to put, if they're editing something that's alive, so it wasn't edited, but 6 ways to fix a Chromebook. Here we go. So the team will have version 1, version 2. We happen to keep every one of those in Drive. I've got like an insane amount of storage because we have so many people in the company. We get 2 or 3 terabytes each, whatever it is. So that might be a way to consider things. We've got like the raw video there. We use Asana to track the status on everything, so it doesn't.
Yeah, same.
Therefore, it doesn't matter what files are in what folders. I don't really care because I'm just using Asana as the source of truth. So if you end up using Asana more for tracking, you might not then need to bother too much with like what's sitting in what folder, because the team can get a bit lax sometimes with like move the file into the right folder or whatever.
So we use Asana to track and to share links and even like backup thumbnails, because thumbnails are within the upload limits. And then we have frame.io, which can use multiple versions, and you can use comparison view as well. So if you do multiple edits, then you can, as a reviewer or like quality control, you can see if they changed the comments from the previous video. Yeah, it's like next to each other, so it's perfect.
Nice.
So that's that. And then once it's finished on Frame, then we go to Google Drive. So once the video is already on YouTube.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Easy. All right, that sounds good. I've got everything marked off my list apart from migration. Do you want to loop back to migrating data into the shared drives?
From OneDrive or
from your My Drive and or from OneDrive?
Yeah, we can do from My Drive. So,
cool. So there's a bit of a challenge with migrating from My Drive, and that is only stuff that you own.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue already.
Yes. Yeah. It is an issue.
Because clients like this, they upload their own footage, and so that's owned by them.
Yes. So that will need to be dragged and dropped in by the person that owns those.
I mean, after we already have all of this done, so same with here. Like, honestly, I don't need to keep any of this. So it's only, this is all processed in a way. So I don't need that footage.
Great.
Same for this. Actually, I can move this. I can move this. And this is being edited right now. I just know because I handled this specific line.
Yeah.
But like I don't think I need to migrate actually. Not what is in progress, maybe what's backup.
Yep.
Which is also a good question if it's backed up by us or not.
Well, have you got one of those folders that's not huge that you want to try? Or like a past client that you don't think there'll be an issue?
It's a good question. This is, well, yeah, it's only 2 videos here, but that's not organized.
Okay, cool. So you can drag and drop, or you can click on the name of the folder there and go to organize or move. Organize, there we go. Yep, move, and you should be able to move that. You could. So if you go to all locations, that should show you your share drives. Yeah, cool. So you could try moving it to PlayStack Team if you want. You just need to move it to somewhere.
If we own this footage.
If you own the footage. There we go. Okay. Now, because you clicked past it, you might not have seen it. This option has more privileges when you're a super administrator.
Okay.
So not everyone will be able to do this same migration process in the same way that you can. Because you're the super admin on the domain, you get additional privileges to move it no matter who in your business owns it. If somebody outside the business owns it, that's a different story. But as long as you own it in the business, the super admin can move it into a shared drive. So if you ever run into issues, just make sure you're doing it with a super admin account.
Yep.
Cool. Now from OneDrive, you can drag and drop from your machine. Our team can use automated tools to do it, or you can use like a remote machine sitting in a data center. That's another way of doing it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too big of an issue right now. And then we'll probably contact you guys, or had a VA do it manually.
Yeah. Honestly, like it's easier to you've already got the benefit of our team. Just ask our team to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'll use their tools and they verify the data's gone across and
okay, yeah, that's my biggest issue. Like, if we're 100% sure.
That's the team. That's the thing that our team do is like they'll verify the data before and after, and they'll give you a report and all that kind of stuff. And they've done it 100 times as well, so they know the method to get it correctly. Cool. Yeah. So it looks like you just need to set up each of the shared drives for your teams. Anything else on shared drives you want to cover?
I mean, I can create a client folder and then each individual client's in there rather than having all the client folders in here.
No.
That doesn't.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, because I mean, look, you could do that, and then you would have no is the short answer.
I need each individual client here. I can't have another client like shared folder.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Because otherwise people could put stuff in, because the permissions are actually at the top level. You can share a folder out, but then it gets messy and it's too easy for clients to potentially see other client stuff or clients to potentially modify other client stuff. One shared drive per client is the best practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Otherwise, the permissions turn into a mess, and the management will turn into a mess. Now, if you switch to, I know you're a creative guy. That's why you've got. That's why you like the weird view. I'm going to call it weird. But if you see here when you're in this list view, that you can see the members immediately of who's in there.
Yeah.
And I like to use that as a bit of a check. Oh, this client folder has like 15 people in it. I don't think there's 15 people that we're working with there. Let me go and check the permissions on that.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can use that for a check. I'm not forcing you to use this view.
No, I prefer this view. No,
that's it. Yeah.
Like these ones here.
I see. Okay.
I don't know why.
And you can make it more compact as well, right? If you go to settings, if you hit the drive settings, the settings wheel up the top right, it's kind of near the Google logo. Yep, settings. There
First
is.
of all, dark. I don't know why.
There we go. Density. So you can go to compact if you want, and that, in my opinion, is much better because you can see way more. Probably doesn't help for that, but when you're in list view, or go to like your My Drive, there you go. That makes it easier if you've got a lot.
But it didn't change.
Go back. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, go back to My Drive. You should see it looks. Yeah. See.
Yeah, but not in shared drive. Oh, it doesn't matter.
I know you got to be in list view. It only matters in list view. But when you've got like 20 clients there, it
will back up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to be able to see more of them. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear, huh?
Yes. So the last thing is, let's fix your admin issue. I want to fix that right now. So go to your admin panel and find your Milan user. You can just search if you want. And then you know how to make someone a super admin. So you should be able to, yeah, there you go. So you can add the administrator role. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, yeah, you're good.
I was prepared for this.
Don't tick that show password button. Okay. I was a bit edgy about doing these live, but I thought, no, this is doable. We just got to be careful. And I've got my foot on the pedal. I've got a pedal switcher, so I can just switch to the side view. I can switch to the side view if we need anything. All right, so
super admin, I think.
Oh, you are a super admin. Okay, well, let's remove the super admin permission from the team account. So go to the team account and go and remove that privilege from the team account. Yeah, because if you've got other people using that, you definitely don't want that.
No, again.
Roles. There we go. Yep.
And so just how do I?
You just kind of click in the middle, I think, or maybe you click the super admin button. There we go.
Okay. I can't. Ooh. This is our primary.
Well, it might be because it's primary, or it might be because you can't unassign it from yourself. So sign in as Milan, So if you switch over to Milan, I'm gonna switch my camera just in case it does anything silly. Okay, cool. No, there. Yeah.
I don't do complicated passwords on my own stuff. Which I should, but
yeah, we can discuss.
All right,
so you click the user. You click the user first. So PlayStack team. Yep, and then you can remove the super admin. Yeah, nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Select. Yeah, there we go. It prompts you selecting your primary admin, so you can make yourself. Yeah. Now.
Can you create two or only one? No, only one.
No, only one primary admin.
Secondary. That's my personal secondary, but should I make that Mike's then?
No, that needs to be off domain. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's fine. And our team will go back and blur. We'll go back and blur these as well, so they're not exposed.
And then just group admin, or do I need
no,
to?
Team shouldn't need anything. I wouldn't. If you're sharing that with staff members, unless they have a need for any sort of like the ability to reset other people's passwords, they should have no admin rights.
No, but they still no, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't think you'd want anything. Cool. The only thing you might want to do is set up like shared calendars and invite the groups to that, or shared chat rooms and invite the groups to that. But I think you're pretty heavy on Slack. So
we're very heavy on Slack,
yeah,
but we do use this. We use this email for some calendar stuff, including our weekly calls.
Okay, well, we can share that calendar to the groups if you like. So if you go to calendar, but you want to be logged in as the admin, the team account. And if you go to calendar sharing, so go to PlayStack team on the left-hand side where it says my calendars. Yep, go to sharing settings, and then scroll down a bit. There we go. Okay, great. So you probably want to add management at here as a group. And what you're going to do here is you're basically sharing. So anytime you, Milan, want to do something, so that's fine. Now on permissions, see all event details. You probably want make changes to events.
Sorry.
That's all good. Make changes to events or greater.
This, this one?
Yeah. Cool. Send. Great. I think it auto saves. Yep, it auto saves. Wonderful. Cool. So, so what that means now, you might need to go to your email and accept it. The notifications are weird on this. You might have it automatically, or you might need to go to your email and accept it. I'll hide the screen while you bring your emails up. Yeah, there we go. Great. Okay, so add this calendar. It's weird. Sometimes it adds it automatically. Sometimes you got to accept it. Okay, so now if you want to create a new event, just drag and drop anywhere. So you're now you're signed as your Gmail. Oh no, is this Milan? This is your this
is my personal one. So I don't know why.
Switch to your business one. So just go back to your calendar. That's just odd.
And then
go to
there we
go. Nice. That was weird. Okay. Cool.
So busy.
Yeah. So drag and drop a calendar event anywhere. Right. Obviously that'll be on your calendar, but down the bottom, see it says Milan. Just click on that on your name. You can change that to team one if you want.
Yeah, I do that with my personal one. I do that way.
Great.
Okay. Cool. Perfect.
Cool. Have you got anything else on your list that I can help with?
Not in this space. Maybe we'll do another one on Asana or something.
Oh, I'd love to. Okay, well, rock and roll. Thank you so much. I'll do the little outro. If you're listening in or you're watching in and you want to check out what Milan does, check out playstack.co, and I'll do my little wrap up here. Thank you so much for joining. If you've got comments, if you've got thoughts, if this was useful or not, please drop them down in the chat. I read every single one of the comments. And if you need help with your Google Workspace account, if you want our team to hold your hand setting up stuff like this, head along to itgenius.com in the link down below. If you've been using Workspace for a period of time and you just want to do like a bit of a health check, just check if you're getting the most out of the platform. If you don't feel like you're really getting the most out of Google Workspace because you've had it for years and you don't know what it can do, just like, Milan had some options for improvement here, then our team would love to help you out with that. So if you're interested in that, click on the link down below, ask the team for a health check, and we'll give a specific link to the health check offer down there as well. And if not, I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.